The NFL, they are moving to 17 games in the regular season. This has already been approved in the previous CBA. But, Paul, they're going to move forward with this coming season. They're going to vote this through today and tomorrow with the NFL meetings.
Yeah, some players, particularly Alvin Kamara, expressing surprise or contempt for this. Well, Chief, you voted, not you necessarily, you might have voted thumbs down on the CBA. The CBA passed narrowly, and this was in the CBA. So you shouldn't be surprised. If you have a big complaint, complain to your union, which accepted it in the CBA they presented to you to vote on. It's not a surprise. This was a done deal a year ago, over a year ago.
They have played 16 games in a regular season since 1978. I believe I have that year right. Across the National Football League. They'll move to 17 in 2021. The idea is the schedule will be a 3-game preseason. The 4th week of the preseason will be treated as a bye week. Every team throughout the 17-game season will then get another bye week, so you still have one bye week throughout. And the Super Bowl schedule will be pushed back 1 week. That's important because of President's Day. They are now creating a holiday prior to President's Day. So you have the Monday off, generally speaking, from work after the Super Bowl. Now, President's Day in 2022 does not fall the day after the Super Bowl. But in the remaining years after, on this agreement, it will fall on the day after the Super Bowl,
so
which is brilliant
holiday
marketing to pair the Super Bowl with a day off after the biggest game of the year.
Most people don't have President's Day off, right? Though it's a federal holiday. Postal workers, it's a bank holiday.
I think a lot of people do. And if the businesses choose not to take it, they will now, because a lot of employees are taking that day off anyway. Sports fans.
Yeah. Look, 17-game schedule, a couple things that change the fabric of what the NFL is. First off, you can't have a 500 team anymore. You're either a winning team or a losing team. Some people say that's good. I think I don't know. I like that 8-8 is kind of the benchmark, and you got to get above it or below it to really establish.
We will have an
yourself.
8-8-1 team this year.
Yeah, you're right. Also records. We've had now a long time of what benchmarks are for a 16-game season. 2,000-yard rushing season like for Derrick Henry that he just had. For the Titans is a very big deal in a 16-game season. It's slightly less of a big deal in a 17-game season. A 1,000-yard rushing season, which isn't a big deal in a 16-game season, but still gets celebrated as some sort of an accomplishment, is no sort of an accomplishment. What is it, 60 yards a game in a 1,000-yard season? It's less and less of an accomplishment in a 17-game season, but we're going to still hear it cited as if it's some sort of thing. A lot of number calibrations, a lot of records that could get stretched out, and you're going to have to say, but that's in 17, not in 16.
That's literally the only reason I don't like this.
Yeah.
It's for the record keeping and the continuity of the game, in the history of the game, because more football is better.
Right.
I don't think this is an anti-player stance by me, even though the players have a problem with it. More football equals more television money, equals more gate receipts whenever all fans are allowed to go back to games, which will eventually equal more money for the players, which is a good thing for the players. I'm all for it.
Well, I understand the record-keeping aspect of this, but the current group of players, the elite players, are blowing these records out of the water already anyway in 16 games. The real downside is for a guy like Drew Brees, who has certain records that he holds for touchdown passes and yards.
Yeah, right.
That's now going to move forward with a guy that potentially has one extra game per season over a 20-year career,
right,
to break it in 16 instead of 20. But the guys now in 16 games are crushing the players and records from the 80s, generally speaking, and 90s. Whenever we compare seasons to head-to-head with some of the all-time greats. And I'm strictly saying from guys who have recently retired that we're comparing now to the Pro Football Hall of Famers. Some of the records that you've debated, Paul, inside that room for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, those numbers have been shattered anyway over a 16-game season over the last 15, 20 years.
Right, but like you're saying, in 20 more years.
Yeah, but you're still comparing that to the era.
Going through another cycle of it, and you get a 16-year career, you're getting another season's worth of games.
What's interesting is the players were not clamoring for this. The fans really were not clamoring for this. This is just the money grab.
Yeah.
And the players now are citing, the health and safety of the league, and that's fine. But they're still going about this and collecting that paycheck because it's a great paycheck. They're playing Thursday night football despite a short week because it's a great paycheck. And Amazon's paying an exclusive rights deal for that now moving forward. The players will complain on social media and show up on game day like they always have.
Yeah, and on the Thursday night football thing, let's make it clear. Players hate Thursday night football from Sunday end of game to Thursday end of game. Then they love it because then they've got a mini bye week and they've got 10 days till the next game. So as long as they make it through that game, they're completely fine with it.